Hi, thanks for clicking. Are you in for a treat? Um, I don't know why I said that. It's just because it's another video with me, of course. Aren't you in for a treat? I'm coming at you with a very kind of a companion piece. So last topic, last video I just uploaded, or last video I uploaded, which is, or this particular topic is, well, the last one was, life, something to the extent of life has left me bitter, or why life has left me bitter, or something like that. It's not uploaded yet. That's why I don't know exactly what it's called. But this particular video is called something along the lines of, what is it? Oh yeah. Am I more unhappy than I think I am, or something like that? Am I more unhappy than I think I am, than I think, whatever, something like that. Meaning, am I more, am I more unhappy than I think I am? And this topic came up quite a while ago that I wrote, well, maybe not quite a while ago, maybe. Anyway, regardless, at some point this topic entered my mind, and I think it was last week or something like that, which isn't quite a while ago, come to think of it. But in mosquito time it is. In mosquito or gnat life, it is quite a long time ago, last week. But I was at the store that I worked at, my last job that I worked at for Jesus Christ. I'm fine. I'll be fine. Last week or something, I was shopping as I always do to get groceries at the store that I worked at, the last job I had for 4 weeks, the job that I hated, and stayed there for, I don't know why, 4 weeks, because I thought it'd just get better, or all of a sudden we'd have topless dancers dancing around and it'd just be, my pay would increase 500%. I don't know why I stayed there, but we never had topless dancers and my pay never increased 500%, so I left. But long story short, I was there and I talked for the very first time to, I bought some stuff and then I was leaving, and then my the woman who was my supervisor at the front end was over there like closing down a cash register, and she's like, hey, and it was the first time I'd talked to her since before I quit. And I went over there, I'm like, well, I never get to talk to anyone, let's talk to her. And she was inviting and whatever, and I went and talked her ear off and stuff like that, and then whatever, and then she's like, how are you, or she said, like, where are you working now? And I'm like, oh, I'm between jobs. Which is the classy way of saying I'm jobless, I don't have a job. Between jobs. Also, like, if I'm also in regards to women, I'm between girlfriends, which means I haven't had a girlfriend for over 10 years, but it's the way to make it sound not so horrible. Like and it kind of makes it sound like it's, I don't know, partially your choice, which I guess it is, but it isn't, and whatever. Long story short, we was just doing some small talk, and all of a sudden, she's like, so how you been, or how are you, or like that. And when she said that, I was instantly dumbstruck, not that it really lasted very long or registered on my appearance or face or anything like that, but in the back of my head, I could feel emotions that would, had I had more time or had the question been worded in some other way, I could imagine that, that particular question would compel me to start to tear up. And I just feel like if someone says the wrong thing, not that it's the wrong thing, but if someone says a particular, like, I can go out in the world and I can be Smiles and I can buy groceries and I can go small talk with my former supervisor, 4 weeks supervisor, 4 weeks, but all of a sudden when something, and I can talk shit or whatever, but all of a sudden when someone just lays on the question, how are you? Or how's it going? I think she said something like that, and then I said, oh, I said, I was hoping, I said in jest, I said, I was hoping that quitting this job would fix my life problems, but it didn't. So maybe you should rehire me, and I should quit again and see if that does it. Maybe it just didn't register the first time. And you know, that's kind of how my personality is when I'm out in the world. It's kind of like a playful, just don't take life too seriously, you know, be the change you want to see in the world kind of attitude. And then I think she came back with that, with a very serious sounding, which really took me by surprise, and a sincere sounding, well, what's wrong or what's going on? Like she actually, not, I don't know if she did care or not, but regardless, it sounded like she did. And that, I was very surprised to hear that, and that's what, you know, not that tears started to well up in my eyes, but it was close to that point. And it occurred to me afterwards, we talked for maybe 6 minutes or something like that. It was nice, you know. She had just had twins, and I don't know if she's married or even with the guy, the father anymore, but, and I was just like, I feel so bad for her, and not to mention the twins, because those, as you know, if you've watched some of my videos, as far as I'm concerned, those two poor kids don't have much of a future, at least much of a positive future to look forward to. So, you know, so that's that. But I was thinking about it later, and I'm like, you know, am I more, you know, I almost broke down, or I mean, not almost, but I mean, it occurred to my body. It occurred to my body to react in that way. I was very, I was very aware of the fact that that question and the way she phrased it and the way she said it, you know, spurred some kind of emotional response from me, you know. And it occurred to me, and I've had a lot of these things happen over the months and stuff, and even like when I, you know, the last job I had of 3 years in 2000, what was it, 12 and 13 in December, both the years, which were the last 2 Decembers I worked there, I had what would regard as a breakdown at work. You know, in December of 2013, I was bawling in the back break room in front of one of my managers, and just falling down just in pieces, where you basically you carry all this pain and emptiness and loneliness inside at in your day-to-day life at work, and just out buying groceries or buying this or that, or just, you know, in general. And this pain is, you know, all wadded up and building up, and you've got, when you have no one to talk to about it, you can't get rid of it. It stays there. So it's like you're kind of like, not that I'm going to go out and shoot anyone or do anything bad. I can't imagine it's healthy or it's good for you or anyone, or me in this case, to live like that. And it occurred to me over just the course of the last several years and months of my life that I might very well be, I mean, day to day, it's not like I cry every day as much as I'd like to, as much as I feel like I need to. As a matter of fact, I don't cry nearly as much as I feel like I should or I need to. I don't know why it's so hard for me to cry. But I feel like I'm potentially a lot more unhappy than even I might be aware of. And my body or my brain is doing such a good job of trying to keep all this shit bottled up and down deep inside, which of course is just, in my opinion, potentially making it more volatile and more, you know, it's being compressed more and more, and it's just like to the point where something's just gonna, or it's just gonna, you know, just bust the fuse in my brain and just explode and leave me just like a vegetable. I don't know, but that's something that occurred to me, I think it was last week or something, when I talked to her, which is the most recent occurrence of it. And I've jotted it down on the old topic list because it's something that's very relevant, which is, am I more, you know I'm not particularly happy, but I don't get up every day and I'm not like just, you know, sobbing, moping, weeping, you know, pile of flesh. And I don't know how. I don't know why I'm not, because I should be. So my question is, am I more unhappy than I think I am? And I got to tell you, it feels like when someone asks you a question, a specific question, and it could make you just break out, in tears. I think you really have to seriously wonder, and I think that I think I kind of answered that question. I mean, I think I'm more unhappy and more in pain than maybe I am even aware of consciously. I spent so much of my life, and of course the last 4.5 years, completely and basically utterly alone, seeing someone, a lesbian acquaintance, every now and then, and whenever I feel like putting up with my mom, I'll let her take me out to dinner. But for all intents and purposes, living the last nearly 5 years of my life just completely alone, with no one to talk to, no one that I feel really cares. I mean, my mom. I mean, how are you gonna go or go to the person who was the source of all your pain growing up for support? I'm just not. I don't know about you guys, but it's not something that I feel like doing. I don't really like her very much for the way she negatively affected my childhood, my early years, So there we go. I think we'll cut you some slack as always and maybe end it there. Am I more unhappy than even I think I am? And I think the answer to that is yes. I think somewhere buried behind these eyes and in this skull, behind the 7 plates and 32 screws that I acquired in my near fatal car wreck when I was 19, is a lot of turmoil and suffering that desperately needs to be exercised. I don't know how. That's of course one of the reasons why, or the main reason why I do these videos and have this channel. I always say I'm going to leave it there, and then I talk for 2 or 3 more minutes. So let's, I think we'll actually leave it there, or leave it here for once. So, as always, I greatly appreciate you guys for watching and commenting, because you guys are really pretty much all I have. So I enjoy you guys. I'm glad you guys watch, and I enjoy getting your guys' comments. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.